This methodology, this idea that you are shifting constantly, gives you the opportunity to understand that it's not about learning how to shift. It's about learning what you would prefer to shift to. Since you are shifting all the time, since shifting and manifestation and transformation are automatic and immediate, so immediate that you don't even know you're doing it, so smooth are the flickers you don't even know that it's happening, you are already manifesting reality after reality after reality after reality. This moment is really a new reality. This moment is really a new reality. This moment is really a new reality. Literally. Literally. This is not a metaphor. You have passed through several billion parallel realities during the course of this transmission. But the idea is that you're all agreeing to stay in sync so that you all experience similar parallel realities and a similar continuity in this transmission, even as we are in agreement with you to do so. This is the true power of consciousness. You are so powerful. You have no idea how powerful you are to be able to do this. You are so powerful you are unaware of how powerful you are. That's how powerful you are. It's so automatic and so smooth. You are such a creator and able to do this so automatically you don't even know you're doing it. That's how powerful you are. So the idea is to become more aware that you are doing this, and thus you can utilize what you are doing automatically by nature in a more conscious way, in a more aware way, in order to allow yourself to manifest the specific parallel reality configuration that is more representative of the reality that you say you prefer. So because, and here's the point, because you are constantly, automatically shifting immediately from parallel reality to parallel reality, the idea is that you don't have to learn how to shift. The idea is to understand that you can make a bigger degree in the difference between one parallel reality and the other, because the only reason you don't know you're shifting is because you keep creating parallel realities that are so similar to the last one, you barely notice the difference. Now, you do notice it because there is, as we said, such a thing as movement. And as we have explained, movement itself is actually a shifting through parallel realities. But again, that's not what you've been taught to understand, so you don't recognize motion as shifting through billions of realities. Even this motion required several billion parallel realities to actually experience. The idea thus is that if you wish to really see that you're manifesting immediately and automatically, then you have to create a larger degree of difference from one parallel reality to the next. And that's where the true magic of manifestation comes in. Because when you start to understand that the next parallel reality can really be defined in any way, shape, or form that you want it to be, then you can really start creating new definitions, new configurations that are very different from the reality that you had a moment ago, and you will start seeing things happening that you would describe then as miraculous or magical. Because that's all miracles are, is simply a greater shift from one parallel reality to another in terms of their configuration, so that you can actually see the difference between them in a much more outstanding way. Does that make sense?
Yes.
All right. So the idea is to begin to wrap your mind around the notion, begin to feel that really you are already traveling through parallel realities with ease, effortlessly. By your very nature, this is what you do. And as you begin to allow yourself more opportunity to act on your highest joy, which then makes you a magnet for the kinds of ideas, the kinds of realities, the kinds of definitions you say you prefer, you will begin to allow yourself as that attractive antenna, as that attractive magnet, to pull to you, in a sense, those configurations of parallel realities that are more in keeping and more reflective with what you say you're putting out. Because that is the law. What you put out is what you get back. Simple as that. So the idea is to begin in whatever way, shape, or form works for you within your imagination, whether it be through meditation, whether it be through some sort of activity, to begin to allow yourself to play with this notion that billions of parallel realities are passing through the projection beam of your consciousness every second. Now, For those of you a little bit more scientifically minded, because we can hear some individuals going, well, what is exactly the rate at which these parallel realities are actually shifting? And in fact, your scientists actually already know what the rate is, but they don't actually know that what they have labeled as the rate actually is the rate of shifting. They call it Planck time. For those who are familiar, the idea is there is in your scientific nomenclature a thing called Planck length, which is very, 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 very small. You want to know how small? Yes. All right. If you take what you call in your reality an atom, one atom, and you wish to measure the diameter of that atom. Now, you all know an atom is very small, yes? All right. If you want to measure the diameter of that atom in Planck lengths, so many Planck lengths, and you did it by measuring one Planck length every second, the amount of time it would take you to go from one side of that atom to the other would be 10 million times 14 billion. That's how small a Planck length is. So, Planck time is the amount of time it takes for light to travel one Planck length. So that is a very small increment of time. That is the rate at which parallel realities per second are going through you and your consciousness. That's why you don't notice it. It's a very seemingly smooth and unbroken rate of shifting. But the idea is that is the rate for the entirety of what we call spirit reality and physical reality. It encompasses all dimensions, all realities, all expressions of parallel reality of any kind. Physical reality is obviously not flickering in a sense, or you are not perceiving that many flickers. In physical reality, generally speaking, you are perceiving roughly, on average, about 60 flickers per second. That's it. That's it. Compared to billions and billions and billions and billions of flickers in that same second that represents all of the other rest of creation and reality that you are not perceiving. Obviously, you can expand that window a little bit. There's a little room for growth. And that is what we are here to talk about, and that is what we are here to play with. The idea being that you will find that even within your physical reality, as you go from what you call third density awareness to fourth density awareness, you will generally find that you will be expanding this rate of ability to perceive the flickers from the average that exists now of about 60, shall we say, frames per second, to an average of about 300 frames per second, with some people capable of attaining about 1,000 frames per second. Still not a lot compared to billions and billions and billions. Nevertheless, it will allow you to perceive quite a bit more than you're perceiving now. Allow quite a bit more synchronicity, quite a bit more miraculous and magical manifestations to automatically occur in your life. Just with that little bit of a stretch, you will be able to experience quite a bit more. Again, at whatever rate that you are capable of opening and broadening this window, it is up to you. You don't have to rush. You don't have to push yourselves. Remember, everything is now. So in a sense, you have all the time in creation. So no rush. You don't have to be in a hurry. You don't have to say, oh, when am I going to get there? I need to hurry up. I'm very impatient. Remember, the only reason you need patience is because you are impatient to get somewhere other than here. But if you understand that here is all there is, and you truly appreciate what here is all about, and live in that moment, you will not care about being anywhere but here, or any when but here. And so, when you are not impatient to get anywhere else, you will no longer need to be patient. You will be having so much fun just being who you are, where you are, and when you are, that you will never want to be anywhere but here and now and you.